Hello, my name is Damon Chijampala.
And my name is Guy Chikamana. This is InsightRx, and today we have an electrical engineering major from NC State. Say hi.
Hi everyone. Starting off with your background and motivation, what inspired you to choose electrical engineering as your major?
Yeah, so I think it was a lot of things that came into play when I wanted to choose electrical engineering. Like for me, like growing up, I went to a lot of museums and stuff. Like I remember one of them was the Smithsonian Museum in DC, and just seeing like how in history like people were able to make all these machines, like first going into space, or and also like just cars. I also went to like the Wright Brothers Museum where they invented the first like flight. Like all of those hands-on type making stuff in the past like really like inspired me. And seeing how far like we've come from those times to now is like wow, like this is all because of engineers. I think that was part of a reason. Another reason was like me being interested in like CAD design. Like that was something that I really spent a lot of time on in high school. Like I would just use the software to like build stuff that I like, even though I didn't have a 3D printer, but I really wanted one at that time to like print all the stuff that I built in CAD. Yeah. So was there like a defining moment when you knew that this field was for you, or was it just like a lot of stuff like building on? No, I don't think it was a defining moment. Like, obviously, I've thought about it a lot in high school. Like, I knew I wanted to do some type of engineering, but I wasn't sure, like, what type. But electrical engineering, like, in particular, like, I did some research and the job growth was projected to be better than some of the other engineerings. And also, like, I knew I wanted to do something with electronics. So I was choosing between, like, electrical or computer engineering or something like aerospace, where it's more like those type of components. Like, so. But I chose electrical because of its broad range. Like you can go into semiconductors, you can go into signal processing. There's so many fields where electrical engineering is a huge part. So that's why I chose it.
I know you talked a little bit about your dad and how he was an engineer as well, but did anyone or anything in your early life influence your decision in engineering?
No, I wouldn't say anything in elementary school. I think it was more in high school where we got to take some of the more like advanced classes where I really like realized that that's what I enjoyed. If you weren't in this major, what else would you consider studying and why? It would definitely be something in engineering. Like aerospace was one of the bigger majors that I was thinking of as well, but um yeah, I wanted to do electrical more, but it would be aerospace engineering probably.
Okay, so you mentioned that you go to NC State, so we'll be asking some questions about college life. Can you describe your typical day as an electrical engineer student at NC State?
Yeah, so in my first year, it was I was taking like 18 credits in one semester, and it's just like I think I was able to balance my schedule pretty well because I didn't have any like too early classes like 8:30 or something. I could wake up a little bit later in time. But yeah, I woke up like it was dorm life, so like grabbed food at the dining hall, like went to class and all that. And during the day, like I would go work out at the gym for a little bit, and then later I would go to like clubs. Like one of the clubs that I was a part of was called Baja Club, and it was basically like building race cars for like competition, like mini race cars. And there was an electrical like component group in that, so I was a part of that. So like a couple times a week I would go participate in that, and over the weekends I would just relax or go to some like other events that were going on in state. So yeah, hopefully I'm gonna like be more involved this year as well, like I was last year. That's really cool. Like, you seem like really relaxed and stuff, like with all your classes, but like 18 credits can be a lot. So, like, when you had stress and things like that, how did you balance coursework, extracurriculars, social life, and your personal time to manage that stress? I think like it's really easy to get like sucked in into like classes and stuff because it's a lot. Like you'll have test after test and you'll have assignments all the time due, but I think like having good time management skills obviously is like beneficial. Like everyone tells you like time management, but like it's hard to do it. But I had like a schedule on Notion Calendar. Like Notion Calendar is a good website to do that. I had a schedule on there and I would just kind of like stick to it, and I would have like add my hobbies on there too. Like I would add my gym time, I would add like hanging out with my friends, going to some like other club, like social event and stuff. So I think, yeah, managing like that is good.
Yeah, so staying in the same ballpark, what's one class that challenged you the most so far, and how did you get through it?
One class that challenged me a lot was called ECE 109. It was one of the intro classes, but it was more revolving around computer engineering more than electrical engineering. It was more like based on low-level programming instead of dealing with the hardware. It was more like software part of it. And I think I just did not like that kind of low-level programming. So it was definitely not like a hard class. I was just not motivated to do it because it was not something I was immediately interested in.
I know you talked about Notion calendar and stuff and how that helped you, but are there any more like tools, apps, or habits that helped you stay organized and productive?
Yeah, I think like just like constantly like setting reminders like on the iPhone there's an app like not a lot of people use like just reminders, but like just like putting down even like the smallest thing on it is like helpful because at one point like you're gonna end up forgetting an assignment that's due at 11:59, and like even missing one assignment could be like bad for your grades. So I think constantly setting reminders is one of them. And another resource is not an app, but like just like utilizing your college's resources. Like your college has its own like health side of it. It has its own like mental health resources. They have like physical activity stuff. They have like almost anything that the student needs because you're essentially like living there. So like I think like utilizing all these like free resources to like help you the best. Like for example, like if you're getting too stressed, like it's okay to like go to counseling and like other stuff, you know. They're there to like help
Mhm.
you when you're paying tuition, so why not?
So I know you talked about counselors and just college life in general, but do you have any professors or peers that influenced your learning experience to make it better?
I think like one professor I would say it was a class that I took this summer. I think like it's hard in the summer because like you're so like distracted with other things. Like you're not like as locked in as you are in like fall and spring. So like I think my professor like realized that I wasn't like going to class as much like as I would like if it was fall. And he was just like trying to like help me out by like providing like additional resources, not just to me, like to everyone in the class, like providing additional resources, extra review sessions and all that. And yeah, I think your professors are there to help you, like as long as you're willing to reach out and like get the help like you need. So, yeah.
Now let's talk a little bit about like your career and your experiences that like led up to it. So if any, what ECs or opportunities led to you deciding to pursue electrical engineering?
I think one of my EC was like the governor's page program. I did that, and through the page program I met like some people in the Department of Commerce who then later, like a couple months later after that experience, I was able to like reach out to them and send them like a policy proposal. And I was able to present that at a forum in Raleigh, like at a convention center. So that was a really nice experience, and through that I was able to network with a lot of like Department of Commerce people who actually like take care of like all these businesses, like engineering businesses that are essential for North Carolina and stuff. And that was something like really insightful because I was able to see like the real world, like what was going on in North Carolina, what businesses were impactful here and all that. So that was one of my ECs.
So you were talking about the governor's page. Can you describe a little bit more about it? Like, how did you, what did you take away from it?
Um, it was more like a generic program. Like you learn about anti-state government, you learn about all the different departments, and you learn about like all the jobs that they have to offer like within the government. So it's actually really resourceful, and we were able to. It was a 4 to 5 day program, I think, and each day we were able to meet so many people from different departments, talk to them about their daily life, kind of like what you guys are doing, but with like real life professionals. And then we were able to do like a project at the end where we come up with our own policy and present it to all these people. So that was really nice and it was insightful.
That seems really cool. But like on electrical engineering and stuff, have you had any like internship or hands-on projects in electrical engineering?
Not internships yet because I finished my first year, but for sure, and I'm going to be applying soon after I get a little more experience. But as a freshman year, I was again part of the Baja Club where I was able to learn a lot about electrical components and all that from like upperclassmen and past projects that they worked on. Another experience that I had in freshman year was a course called Open Project Space, where I was able to learn a lot about Arduino and circuitry and basically make projects. And how this worked is they gave us like the resources and they gave us some lessons on how to basically program in C++ and use the Arduino to create like your own programs and stuff. So some of the stuff I made was like I made a a speaker where it could play like certain music. Made like a blink some type of like blinking stuff, and yeah, it was like a nice like introduction plus like revision to electrical engineering.
You talk a lot about C++, Arduino, and coding. So, what skills outside of engineering have helped you succeed in this major?
I think for sure like not skill, but just like being curious, just like playing around with it a lot. Even when you're not assigned like an assignment, just like doing it in your free time is something that like differentiates you from people that are learning to learn and people that are actually like wanting to do something in the field. So yeah, I think curiosity.
Now let's talk about your reflection and advice that you could give. What advice would you give to your high school self about preparing for college and choosing your major?
I think like don't like psych yourself out on like doing like all the extracurriculars. Just like I think in high school, try to find out like what you want to do first. You know, quality over quantity, in my opinion. So find out what you want to do and then focus on it. Like do stuff that helps you, build skills that are good for it.
Were there any clubs or competitions or classes in high school that helped spark your interest in engineering?
Yeah, so I did a lot of clubs. I did like Science Olympiad, TSA, and yeah, within those, I've participated in a lot of competitions. Like in Science Olympiad, I did like the bridge competition. I did like the scrambler. In TSA, I did like biotech design, engineering design, and yeah, all of these competitions and working with other people. Like it was like it kind of like kept us in that like creative mode. So obviously like being part of those is gonna be a good help.
What do you wish people knew better about electrical engineering?
I wish they knew that electrical engineering is a really like it's so wide. It's such a wide field. Like you can go into so many things through electrical engineering. Like for example, like cars. Cars have the electric component, especially now with EV cars, electrical engineering is going to play a huge role in the automobile industry. Semiconductors, like anything that has chips in it, like laptops, phones, like any type of like electrical devices, like you need electrical engineering. So there's so much room for innovation. I think it's a field like if you don't exactly know what you want to do yet, like it's a good field to like be in to get a scope of so many things.
What's something you failed in, and how did you grow from it?
I wouldn't say I failed, but something that I've always not been good at was physics, and it was something I had to take in college again. So I think like it's really difficult, but at the end like I was able to like get a score that was, good for my GPA. So I think just trying hard and actually going to class.
Mm-hmm. And now, like, kind of like wrapping up, what are your personal and like academic goals after graduation?
Um, just after graduation, I still am not sure yet if I want to do a master's or go into the field, but I hope to keep learning and specialize in something that I'm interested in electrical engineering and maybe get like potential internships and jobs within that field to um possibly like learn more about it and later maybe even like create a business.
Yes, thank you so much for agreeing to talk with us.
You're welcome.